a whole lot. The American Soundbite on the Facebook. And I am starting a watch party. And I don't know how to type and talk at the same time or spell anything close to being, I don't know. Close, I guess. While I am, typing and talking at the same time. I have difficulty doing that. However, I have to type to get the watch party started, and I have to talk, to keep you engaged, because you people, you're the best people on the planet, because you are watching the American Soundbite. And because you're the best people on the planet and you are watching the American Soundbite, I want to make sure that I give you everything that you expect, and certainly even more than that, because I really want to give you everything you deserve. And so we are now running on YouTube Live, on something called the Twitch, on Periscope, on Facebook Live, and on the Twitter. In addition to that, the actual program, which you're going to witness live, runs live on the podcast, and you can find it places like TuneIn Radio. If you have the TuneIn app, you can watch or listen to the American Soundbite podcast each and every day as we broadcast live. That's right, live. So we are ready to go with our broadcast. And so, I have to do two things, and then we're going to get started. For some reason, the camera thinks that the curtains up there are a person. So you are listening to the American Soundbite, a podcast that features common sense thoughts of an everyday American. This is the start of the most valuable 10 minutes of your day, so congratulations on joining us. I am certainly glad that you are along for the ride today. Hey, before we get started, you can probably think of a handful of friends, family members, even coworkers who would benefit from the advantages of listening to the American Soundbite every day, and you know that they really need your help. So find that share button or start a watch party. Let your followers on social media know that you start your day by listening to the American Soundbite, because it gets your brain juices flowing, gives you something to think about, and even content to talk about throughout the day, and that they would benefit even more than you do each and every day right here on the American Soundbite. America's freedom is under attack. There is a huge, enormous, systemic attack on Americans' freedom. And it's something that needs to be dealt with, that needs to be addressed, that needs to be squashed or squeltered immediately. And it's something that we cannot rely on government to do for us. I know in society today, for whatever bizarre reason that I do not understand, we, the people, groups of people within our society believe that we need government to do things for us. We need government to protect us. We need government, just those first few words, we need government, period. And they expect government to keep us safe, to protect us, to make sure we don't get sick, to, any number of things, but they expect government to do for us. And I like I said, I don't know where that comes from. I don't know why that sentiment exists. I I wholeheartedly disagree with it. If you read the Constitution of the United States of America, the founders of this country did not believe that we needed or that we should have a government that was our nanny, that was taking care of our every or even any need. Rather, they wanted a free society of free people who were independent and welcome to make choices to live the lives that they individually saw fit, not that the government told them to do. Today, we are governed by a class of people. Let me say that again. We are governed by a class of people who have set themselves apart from us, who have created a hierarchy within the American society and put themselves at the top. That's right. There is a separate class of people that you and I don't belong to. And if they have their way, we never will. This group, this class of people, this is a political class. This is a group of people who consider themselves smarter and wiser, and they do think they should be wealthier than you or I, that they should have all of the power and that we should have none. These are people called professional politicians. You may today call them congressman or senator. You may call them governor or lieutenant governor or, well, almost any elected official today. Many of them either have spent their entire career in politics, have spent their entire career in Washington, D.C., or in state houses around the country. Many of them have spent an eternity either already in government or they have aspirations to spend their entire career in government, ruling you, empowering themselves, and taking away your freedom at every opportunity that they have. We can fix that. We can address it, but we have to act now. We have to start literally right now. The only way to depower a political class in America, the only way to take the power away from a class that, well, is unconstitutional, a class that was very specifically intended to not exist in our Constitution. But it requires the knowledge of everyone around you. It requires the action of everyone around you. And it requires everybody really to think outside the box. Because if you watch the media, it doesn't matter what channel you watch. If you watch the media, period, and you hear them talking about, pro-leftist policies and everything that needs to be done, or pro-right policies and procedures and what needs to be done to protect, they're both the problem, not the media, the parties. Because the parties understand that whether you vote for the left or the right, that those two parties are still in power. And as long as those two parties are in power, they keep the American people divided. And as long as the American people are divided, they can do whatever they want. And what they want is to take freedom away from you, freedom away from me, and gain power for themselves. The way they do that is that they have politicians that are in office for years and years and years, for multiple terms. You and I can change that, but we have to change our paradigm. If you don't know it, Google it, paradigm. We have to change our thought process. We have to change the way that we believe politics should happen. We have to really change, at least it won't even let me reconnect because it's telling me that the camera is already connected. However, now that the show's over and I've said all kinds of amazing words that you would benefit from, they're lost forever. So if you didn't get to hear everything that I had to say because you're watching our live stream and because of the fact that the app that runs the camera crashed, well, I guess I'm going to suggest that you go to, I don't know what kind of podcast app that you have on your phone, whether it's Apple Podcasts or maybe Google Podcasts or anywhere else that you happen to listen to podcasts. Look up The American Soundbite. Find today's episode because it's live right now. Well, it was live, but it is available as a recording right now. And listen to the whole thing. And that way you can fill in the gap where you didn't have audio on the video when, well, my tablet crashed and for whatever reason it lost audio, but not video. So thanks a lot for watching. This is a really important episode. So if you're watching the video, I strongly encourage you to listen to the audio by going to Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or iHeartRadio or anywhere that you can get podcasts. Look up The American Soundbite, download it, and listen to it today. It is that valuable. It's that important that you do listen to it. I know I'm going to listen to it again, so you should too. Again, thanks a lot for joining me. I hope you had an awesome Independence Day yesterday, and I hope that today is just as great for you and your family. Thanks a lot for watching, and